Hi everybody, it's Erinn. Like I promised, I'm plowing through books. Fall's come, it gets colder. I just want to snuggle up with a good book, with a warm blanket, and veg on my couch. So that's what I've been doing. Um, I know I just posted a book review last week, but I have a couple more to do here. So this book review is going to be for a book called Cleopatra's Moon. Looks like this. You can see a reflection of my computer, but it's called Cleopatra's Moon. It's by Vicky, Alvear Shecter. This book was fabulous. I really, really enjoyed this book. First of all, I might have mentioned this in one of my other videos, but I absolutely love books set in history. So I don't know, there's something about picturing myself there in that time and how I would, fend for myself, how I would get along in those days without modern technology. I just love books set in the past. What's really nice about this book too is it's actually based on fiction. It's fictional, but it's based on fact. Or some factual parts. So basically, there's a few made-up characters. But most of them are all based on fact that she has done research on and kind of obviously elaborated their characters and that sort of thing. But these people existed. They were married to the people that she writes about in the book. They did have these children. These are real people, back in BC times. So that was pretty cool. I really like that. And what's really nice about this author too, and I'll tell you what the book is about in a minute. However, what's really nice about this author is she actually, in the first couple pages, she gives you a character list. So you know who, like, Egypt, the royal family, Alexandria, the Romans, gives you a breakdown of the gods. So if you do get lost in some of the weird names, you can go back to that front page and look through it all. And it was really helpful for me a few times, especially getting going in the book. I found that was kind of, anytime there's some weird names that I'm not used to, it's hard to memorize them in the back of my head as I'm reading. So for the first couple chapters, that was really useful. Another thing that I want to point out before I get into this book review is at the very back of the book, this was really neat. She gave an author's note about the main character, Cleopatra Selene, and Juba, and then there's other characters. She gives details on, like, Cleopatra, the seventh, so her mother, gives details on, basically general details that are actually facts. So it says here, the facts within the fiction. So like I said, it is a fictional book, but these are the facts that she drew this from. So I thought that was pretty cool. And there's pages. I mean, I read this all too, I read all these facts, and I was just blown away by some of them. They're very, very cool. So I really like that she did that. You're basically reading a fiction novel, but it's based on facts. So some of this stuff did happen. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now I'm going to get into the book review, 3.5 minutes in. But basically what this was about is, as I mentioned, it's about Cleopatra the seventh, so Cleopatra the queen as we know today. This is about her daughter, Cleopatra Selene, and there's not much written about her in history, but obviously this dives into her story and what happens with her. I loved that about it. It was so good. I mean, I have a book on Cleopatra that I haven't read yet, so I'm absolutely no expert on this topic. However, I'm very intrigued by this royal family and this story. So I can't wait to get into that book now because of this book. And to be honest, I probably should have read that first, but this one was just it was excellent. So I'm going to probably pick that up here and read that in a little bit. But this book was about Cleopatra Selene's journey from where her mother, the war with the Romans, that her mother was going through a war with the Romans, and how she fends to save her family, her brothers, and herself from just destruction, really. So it kind of goes into the story of how she's, kind of a spoiled little brat. She has everything that she ever wants. And then once war is declared, her entire life has changed 100%. She's no longer that princess that everybody loves and respects. Now she has to move to Rome, where they hate this family. They absolutely hate them, and she's kind of treated not too bad, but she is treated, not like the princess and the queen that she is or rightfully is. So it goes to that whole story. It goes about, there's different stories in it where people try to kill her and her brother. She actually has a twin brother, and then she has a younger brother as well. And it kind of goes to that story. And there was a huge surprise twist at the end. I shouldn't say it was a surprise. I had a feeling it was coming, but for some, I can see it being a big surprise. You'll have to read to the very end to find out. And then also what happens in the book is there develops a love story. So it's really nice. It's actually more, I found it obviously a drama, like it's very dramatic. There's a lot of, you're very worried about them. You're very concerned about how they're doing, what's going to happen next to them. Absolutely, I felt that too. However, what I liked most about it, there was just the budding romance of, she has to actually choose kind of between two people that she kind of falls for and she has opportunities with, and each are completely different, and each can offer so many other paths in life that she can follow in order to either secure her, get her throne back in Egypt, or to move on into newer and other territories. So it's a really good story. I really enjoyed it. It's just a feel-good story in the end. It's terrible at the beginning. It's so sad, and you do totally feel for the heartache. She goes through so much. You just want the best for her, and I really like that. I was really rooting for Cleopatra Celine in the end. So I highly recommend that. It was a great novel. Totally something different, away from like the whole vampire, warlock, werewolf ideas that everybody's been into, including me, but it was a refreshing story that was new. So I do 100% recommend this. Definitely read it. It was a really quick read. I read it in just, I think, a couple days. It's a little bit younger crowd, but I mean, you know what? It was enjoyable, so I definitely recommend picking that up. And then the next one, like I said, I am going to go. I do have it already. I don't have it here. I should have grabbed it, but it's called Cleopatra. And it's by a different author. I don't know the author's name. Sorry. But yeah, I'm going to read that, and I'll do a review on it. I'll put it on my blog so you guys can see it. So that is Cleopatra Celine. The next book that I'm reading right now, and I'm reading it because I need to get it back to the library. I'm overdue, and I'm paying the fines. Oops. But it's called the 13th Child by Patricia C. Wrede. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her last name, but this is what it looks like. There's also another cover that's kind of like a tan brownie color. I don't know if maybe it's just a hardcover version or not, but that is what it is. I am not quite halfway into it. It's pretty good. It's not sucked me in like the other book just did. However, this one is the supernatural. So this looks like it's set, I think, in the future is what I'm getting from it. The world as we know today kind of has, I don't know, been destroyed or something. So this is what they're doing is they're kind of setting on a new frontier. So they're kind of having to do what we had to do many, 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 many years back of when you set up your brand new settlements, new towns, new cities, that kind of thing. So this is kind of what this book is about. However, this includes supernatural stuff like, oh, my hair is just driving me crazy, sorry. It includes supernatural stuff such as witches, there's magic. I shouldn't say witches, I guess it's just magic. Everybody can do magic, and they teach you how to magic. So it's kind of like a Harry Potter, like they teach you magic, and then, and the reason why they teach magic is because they can do things easier. Like they can build houses easier, they can make clothes easier. It's not like the hard work we put in nowadays. It's all done by magic in this book settings. Another thing to point out about this is the settlements need to be protected because there's some terrible animals, and I'm not quite there in the book yet, but I can see them setting it up for some tragic stuff that happens with these crazy animals. I mean, it says here that there's like dragons and beasts of the wilderness, so dragons and mammoths and wolverines, and they attack settlements. So you have to have magic to fend off like with barriers and wards and stuff. So that's kind of what this is about. It's about a family that moves out to one of these new settlements to try to help a college. And it's a family. Now, F is the main character, and then her twin brother is Lan. It says here something about F. being a 13th child, which is normally really bad luck. A lot of old magicians feel that if you have a 13th child, you should like just murder them off. Her parents obviously didn't, and they don't believe in that. So she's alive and healthy, and but she just keeps thinking that something bad is going to happen to her, that she's going to turn bad. So she's really worried about that, and the story's kind of about her fighting with it internally with herself about that. Now her brother, her twin brother Lan, is a double seven. So he is the seventh son of a seventh son, meaning he has extra good luck. Like he is a natural born magician. He can do magic that like hardly anybody can do. So he's a high commodity. People absolutely want Lan basically on their side or have him in their settlement because he's supposed to be extra lucky and extra good at magic. So it's going to dive more into that. I'm not that far in, so I don't have a lot of information on it. So far, it's not too bad. I'm not crazy about it yet, but I'm going to give it a chance because I'm going to finish it to the end, like I always do with every book. And I can see it picking up a little bit here, so it's probably going to get good in the middle to the end. I'm rooting for it anyway. And then there's a second one coming out. I'm not quite sure, it's not out yet, but it is part of the Frontier series, which is what this is called. So this is book 1, and then there's another one coming out here soon. And I will put that in the bar down below. So that is what I'm reading right now, and hopefully it'll be done in the next day or two. Next up, I just want to give you guys if you want to pick up any of these books. I'm doing a Vampire Babylon series. The first one's called Night Rising. It's by Chris Marie Green. I haven't heard much about these books. I just saw them in the library, and they had all of them in, so I grabbed them. Like I said, this is book 1, Night Rising. This is book 2, Midnight Rain. Book 3 is called Break of Dawn. Book 4 is called A Drop of Red. Book 5 is The Path of Razors. And the last one I have here in this series is book 6, which is Deep in the Woods. So I'm not sure if there's any other ones, but these are the 6 that I quickly grabbed. Basically, it's about a stunt woman, Dawn Madison, who has a lot of issues. Her mother used to be a world-famous movie star, so she's living up to all of that, kind of like a sex symbol, and she just kind of has to live under her mother's shadow, so to say. So, I guess her mother dies, and she's left, Dawn is left with her dad, and he's terrible, kind of no father of the year sort of thing, it says here. Basically, it kind of goes I'm just going to read this little synopsis. Frank is her dad. Frank's the dad's name, and basically he goes vanishing. So, I probably should have read this before, but I did read it a while ago. But anyways, he vanishes, and she wants to try to find him. So she comes to Tinseltown to join the search for him because that's where he kind of disappeared. And yeah, kind of goes from there. I'm not quite sure where the vampire comes in. I'm sure it's going to be somewhere with the disappearance, but it is the Vampire Babylon series, so it's going to have vampires in it. And I obviously don't know too much about this book to give you any information on. I didn't even read the back, which I should have. But it looks like a good series. I mean, there's 6 of them. It looks like it's fun, and I'm going to read that. Hopefully it'll be nice, easy over the weekend. Okay, that is it. I'm done. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and as always, come join me at http://fancynapkin.blogspot.com, which is my blog, and it's onto the sidebar. I'd love to have you join the book club and share your comments on any books you've read or any suggestions you have. I'm having fun. I enjoy reading all the comments you guys are giving me, and I have a couple books that I actually just checked out, and these are on the list, but those are coming up next. So there's suggestions from you guys, and I very much appreciate them. They're totally different than what I would normally grab, and that's pretty cool. So, yeah, take care and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.